Storytime Rod says, Bedros, can you go over how you outline your videos?
All right, so let me tell you guys real quick how we outline this show. So first of all, I want you to, if you're going to create a YouTube show and a podcast, you have to have a core topic, right? So picture the sun. If you can picture the sun is this blazing hot inferno. What is the core thing in the sun? For me, it's self-mastery. What do I teach on the show? Self-mastery, right? That is the center of the sun. Then the sun has these rays that come off of it. Well, self-mastery, some of the rays that come off of self-mastery are making money, being fit, eating clean, focus, consistency, discipline, overcoming trauma, your relationships, emotional discipline, mental toughness. So if you picture a sun, what is the core thing that you want to talk about? For me, it's self-mastery. For someone else, it might be business. For someone else, it might be how to pick up chicks. For someone else, it might be how to buy homes with no money down, real estate, right? But in the real estate, if the sun is the real estate, the rays could be how to get creative financing, how to buy with cash, how to get seller financing, how to find apartments and negotiate deals. And so once you have created your core thing, mine being self-mastery, which is money, meaning, and self-mastery, then the rays of it being all the different topics that you're going to talk about. So let's say I take one topic. One of those topics might be overcoming traumas, right? That's a ray from self-mastery. So I would write that at the top of my notepad. When you guys see a notepad in front of me during the actual episodes of the BK show, it might say overcoming your trauma or overcoming your limiting beliefs. And once I do that, I will always start off with a story, right? Because people learn best from stories. So I'll always try and tap into a personal story of the time where a limiting belief or a trauma of mine limited my human experience. Maybe in a relationship, maybe an opportunity to make more money, whatever it was, my trauma caused me to either self-sabotage, make less money, have a shittier relationship, or find a crazy chick to date when I was single and younger. And those are all true stories. So I tell that story because you want relatability, right? So I was like, hey, this is Bedros Koulian. Today we're going to talk about limiting beliefs and trauma and how they limit your human experience. But first, let me kick it off with a story. When I was, 21 years old, I would date crazy chicks and I would wonder why I continue to have all this drama in my life and blah, 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 blah. And as it turns out, it was because I was molested by 2 older boys and I didn't feel loved and I didn't feel appreciated. I didn't feel valued. So I always went for lower quality humans, right? So you got to tell that story. And then you have to have bullet points under that. So I always write down, okay, tell my story of when I was, 21 years old. And underneath that will be what happens if you continue on this path, right? So if you don't heal your trauma, these are the things. I'll write bullet points. You'll have limiting human experience. You'll always make less money. You'll never feel like you've found your purpose. You'll always feel anxious and depressed. And each of those bullet points are just reminders for me to kind of teach off of. And then after 3 or 4 bullet points of what happens if you continue down this path, it's, so what do we need to do to break through your limiting beliefs, to break the glass ceiling? Then I'll go into, hey, here's what worked for me. Therapy, reading these 3 or 4 books, doing hard things like these 6-week challenges that I do that help me realize that I could do anything I want physically. And if I could accomplish anything physically, then I could probably do it mentally and emotionally, relationally, financially. And so I give lessons on how to flip that switch, right? And then I end it with a call to action, right? So like in this last episode that we put up on Tuesday, I said, hey guys, let me know in the comments, what is the one thing you're going to do consistently to better yourself over the next 30 days? And everyone's leaving comments like, hey, I'm going to exercise more. I'm going to give up vape for 30 days. I'm going to stop drinking for 30 days. And the hope here is that you go, fuck it, I did it for 30 days. Exactly. I'll do it for the rest of my life, right? So once you know what your core competency is that you want to talk about, and it has to be something that you're good at, that you've mastered, and you're a walking, talking example of it. In other words, you can't talk about fitness if you're a fat fuck, right? And so with that in mind, you have to be a walking, talking example of the thing you want to talk about. Then the rays off that sun are all your different talking points that you're going to talk about over the years to come. And then, of course, now that you know what the outline looks like, I highly suggest you batch process. And so I will outline 2, 3, or 4 shows, and then we will literally shoot 2, 3, or 4 episodes back to back. Sometimes we'll do 2 episodes and a Q&A, right? You and me, you'll come with like 5 or 6 questions, and you'll fire off a question. I'll give the answer. It's usually somewhere between 8 and 10 minutes long for those, and those are ones we drop on Sundays. But the reason I batch process, I'll film 3 or 4 episodes in one sitting, is because you're in a flow state, right? Like right now I'm in a flow state. If I left here and went on stage somewhere, dude, I could deliver the thunder because I'm in this flow state right now. And so you don't want to just do one show a week. You might as well do 4 episodes every 2 weeks. When you go into studio, turn on your studio and whatever. And by the way, don't look for perfection. Don't try and set up a big studio like this. Just get a camera, get a ring light, put a nice little backdrop in the corner of your bedroom, and off you go. So you're going to batch process. You're going to have your talking points, and you're going to have a call to action and at the end of every episode, so that you can tell people what to do next. It could be subscribe to the channel. It could be come to BK Live. It could be write down your thing in the comments, what you're going to do over the next 30 days. And once you've done that, you've got a prepared thing. And by the way, the other reason I like batch processing is if I'm going to go on, let's say, a 1-month vacation with the family, now you guys can edit and post episodes while I'm gone. I don't have to be like, uh-oh, I got to go do a show, right? So feel free to batch process, and you're in a flow state, and that also keeps you more efficient.
Solid.
Hopefully that helped.
For sure. I hope you all take notes, or if you didn't, then rewatch this episode and take notes. He just gave you literally the blueprint to get 1 million subs. So there we go.